Mr. Mance is giving us the silhouette treatment. We're getting the silhouette from Mr. Mance. All we can see is a silhouette, Mr. Mance, but you are there, so that's good. You don't have to turn anything on. We see you. All right. So, Chapter 3. What is Chapter 3? Chapter 3 is measures of center. In statistics, everything revolves around the center. As far as trying to figure out if your data's worth anything, I'm going to turn my video off for a second. Y'all know what I look like. I'll turn it back on later. Okay. So measures of center basically is the mean, which is also called X bar, which is also called mu. If you're talking about the sample, it's X bar. If you're talking about the population, it's mu. What else is the mean called? Starts with an A.
Average.
The average, Hubert. That's right, class. And how do you find the average? When you want to find your test grade average, what do you do?
Add numbers and divide by that number.
Exactly. You add them up and you divide by how many tests. Now, the way to write that is the summation of all your test grades over how many test grades. So write that down because you might see that somewhere, and that's all that means. Add up all the test grades and divide by the number of tests. And that's how you do the average. Now, I expect everybody to make 100 on that part of the whole test because everybody should be able to find the mean of numbers. Median. When I say the word median, what's the first thing that you think of? And don't say mathematical because you don't think of math. What's the first thing you think of when I say median?
The middle
of the road.
In the middle of the road, right? That cement thing that you run over, you know, when you're not paying attention, it's called a median. And that's middle. This is the calculated middle using center numbers. Okay, you need to mute your mics, everybody, please, because I don't know who that is. I got some background coming in and it affects other people's hearing. Miss Kidd hit her video. You there, Miss Kidd? You didn't get kicked out, did you? There she is.
No, I hit the wrong button.
I think your internet's kind of running slow down there. You're kind of moving in slow motion, but that's okay.
Probably because of the storms.
Mode. What is the mode? Oh, I forgot. Median. Okay, I'm going to put this in red. If I put something in red, that means you need to highlight it. For the median, if n is odd, you just pick the middle number. If n is odd, you pick the middle number. Does anybody know what happens if n is even?
Divide by 2.
You average the
two middle numbers. If n is even, you average two middle numbers. That means you add them up and divide by 2. We'll do that. We're going to do that. So I'll get somebody's still. Turn your mics off, people. All right. Mode. Remember what? Most. What shows up the most? And I take my handy dandy highlighter and I'm going to highlight MO and MO, so you remember that. Question, gripe, complaint. Now, can you have one mode? Yes. Can you have two mode? If you have one mode, it's called monomodal. If you have two modes, it's called bimodal. If you have three modes, it's called trimodal. And if you have more than three, it's called polymodal. Now that's an SAT question. I mean, a standardized test question. You might be asked, what is bimodal? Bimodal is when you have two modes. Is the modes important? No, they're not. I don't know why we find them. I think it's one of those things that the early statisticians said we need to make something sound important, so we're going to do the mode. It's really the most, out of everything, it's the least valuable. I don't know why. I mean, range equals the highest minus the what?
Lowest.
And the mid-range, just like the midpoint that you learned about in algebra, and just like the two middle numbers, averaging the two middle numbers, you're going to use the same formula. The midpoint, the mid-range, that's what we're finding in the mid-range, and the even median. They're all used the same formula. The highest plus the lowest divided by what? 2. Now, this is not all we're going to find because these are the 5 easiest to find. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Now, most of you, again, I would be willing to think most of you, 95% of you, know how to do all of those. Okay? Because I know you know how to find the most numbers in a list of numbers. Okay? The only one I think you'll have a problem with is the median, and all you got to remember is these 2 rules. Okay? Now I'm going to show you the variance and the standard deviation. Number 6. The variance. It's really not important, but it's very important to get the standard deviation. So you can't get the standard deviation unless you have the variance. Because, I can't show you yet, but anyway, the variance is equal to this formula. The summation of x minus x bar raised to the second power over n minus 1. Now, I tell students, when you see this formula, the first thing half of you are going to do is freak out. Well, you don't need to, because all you got to do is remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And we always go in mathematics, we go in this direction. So that means I'm going to do parentheses first. I'm going to subtract the mean from each one of my x's. So number 1, I'm going to subtract, well, number 0, you got to put everything in order. All right, that's your first step. Number 2, or 1, I'm going to subtract the mean from each number. Now I'm writing this out. Does anybody know why I'm writing this out? Because this is what the formula is telling you to do. So from here on out, when you ask me, I don't know how to find the variance. First thing I'm going to ask you is, what does the formula say? And you're going to say, oh, no. Right? Okay, y'all just not going to talk to me? Are y'all mad at me or what? Okay, that's all right.
Okay, I'm here. I had my mic.
Okay, I appreciate it. 2, subtract the mean from each number. Now tell me what's next. And I'm gonna highlight these for you. Watch this.
Okay.
Yellow. Subtract. There's yellow. And that's this right here. Okay, somebody tell me, what do you do after you subtract from each number? What do you do? Somebody tell me.
You square that number?
You square that number because what do you do next? Besides parentheses. You do what?
Exponents.
So that's number 2. We're going to square each number in number 1. Square each number in number 1. So whatever we got with number 1, we're going to square each of those. And what's the final thing that we're going to do in the numerator? What's left? What has not been highlighted?
N minus 1.
The funky looking what? The funky looking E. And that is called capital sigma. And whenever you see capital sigma, can anybody tell me what capital sigma means?
The sum of all the numbers.
You sum, you're going to add them all up. So whenever you see that E in mathematics, you're going to add up all of number 2. Now, when you've done number 3, you have the numerator for the variance. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a blue marker and I'm going to highlight. I'm going to put a circle around this part right here. And I'm going to take that same blue marker so when you do number 3, you just found this numerator right here. And of course, I'm not going to show you how to do n minus 1. I think all of you can do n minus 1. And that's the denominator. So that's how you find the variance. Now, this is real hard stuff right here. The standard deviation. Does anybody know the relationship between the standard deviation and the variance? The standard deviation is equal to the square root of the variance. So that's why you need to get the variance. Now, I'm not going to use the square root symbol on my calculator. I'm going to use the variance to the 0.5 power. That's the same thing as the square root.
I really got to learn how to use this calculator.
Yep, we're going to use it. We're going to learn how to use it. Don't worry.
I told you I'm the old one in the class.
You probably are not the oldest. There's probably somebody in here probably the same age you are. I'm not going to ask you because that's not good manners, so I'm not going to ask you. But I guarantee you there's somebody, there might be somebody. Why? Because it's a night class. There's always going to be some non-traditional students in the night class. All right, so anyway, that's what we're going to find. Now, there's one more thing I'm going to put in here, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in here because you've got 4 days to work on homework. And I've got to get y'all into chapter 3, and this is called, I'm going to kill 4 birds with 1 stone. Well, I'm killing 5 birds with 1 stone, really. All right, now I'm going to show you how to do this for the 1 or 2 people that's going to do it out of 12. You go to the Google, and it's on page 132. Write down page 132. It's on page 132.
This is the standard deviation on a graph. Is that what you're showing?
Well, yes, basically, this is several things. Just give me a second, and I'll explain everything. I don't forgot what I was doing. Dadgummit. All right, here we go. You go to the Google go to Google, and I want everybody, if you got a minute, I want you to do this because, like I said, out of 12 people, 2 of y'all are going to do it. You go to Google and you type in normal distribution with empirical rule. I'll blow it up because I know I'm going to get a diva going, I can't see. Right?
Mm-hmm. You don't see me squinting already?
There you go. Normal curve with empirical rule. Everybody got that? And hit images. Now my image is right there. That's the one I use. You can go through and pick out purple with pink polka dots if you want to. All right, you can pick that one if you like those. I would suggest to keep it simple because you got to put a lot of stuff on it. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go back to my 100%. All right, click on this and right click on the big one and put save image as and call it normal. Just leave it normal distribution curve and make sure it's under pictures and hit save. Now, this is a lot of work here. I don't know if some of y'all gonna be able to handle it. Go to Word, blank, go up to Layout and hit Orientation, Landscape, Margin, Narrow, and then do Insert, Picture, and you got to go to Pictures wherever you saved it. And where is it? There it is. There it is. Run 10, 20 copies or run 1 copy and go to the Xerox machine at work and run 50 copies because you are going to get tired of drawing this throughout this whole semester because after today, after I show you how to do this, you're going to be drawing this thing every question just about, especially in chapter 7.
Oh boy.
Now, some of y'all invented this thing, so you might not have to draw it, but most of you will have to draw it. All right. Now, what am I going to do with this thing? Well, I'm going to show you. I got to turn this light on. I don't want to. I wish I had a little light. Hold on. There we go. All right. I'm going to show you the normal curve with the mean and the standard deviation. That's one bird I'm going to kill. And standard deviation. That's one thing I'm going to do. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the empirical rule. Which is the percentages that you see already here. So you don't have to even figure the percentages. They're already there. That's the percentages. And 3, the 5-number summary. Okay. So now once you get your highlighters out, and you can follow along on page 132, because that's where you see the empirical rule in the book. But first of all, we got to fill out the bottom. Now, I'm going to make up a mean and a standard deviation. Does everybody hear what I just said? I'm going to make up a mean and a standard deviation. Somebody's going to email me after class. Where'd you get that mean and standard deviation? I made it up. So I'm going to go with a mean of 30 and a standard deviation of 5. Okay, I made this up. Made up. Okay, so I'm going to put 30 right here where it says mean. That's mu right there. I'm going to put a 30 right here. And then what do we do on the right side of the number line? Do we add or do we subtract?
You add.
You add. So what's 30 plus 5? 35.
35.
What's 35 plus 5?
40,
40.
And 40 plus 5.
45.
45.
Now, if we add on the right-hand side, what do we do on the left-hand side?
Subtract.
So what's 30 minus 5?
25.
What's 25 minus 5?
20.
And what's 20 minus 5?
15.
And we just did number 1. Okay, so when you have a normal distribution and somebody asks you, like in chapter 7, they say find the mean and the standard deviation, they're going to want you to draw a picture, and especially in chapter 7. So that's the picture you're going to draw. Now take your highlighters out, and we're going to get you a green highlighter, or closest thing, yellow or green. Get you a green highlighter, and we're going to highlight the 95th percentile. And that is, and this is what they go over on 132, page 132. I'm going to color this area right here green. And what does green usually stand for? Green usually means go, doesn't it? Yeah, Hubert, that's what it means. Thank you, class. I'm doing all I can to color inside the lines. All right, now, what is that? This is what in statistics you call the 95th percentile, or 95%. Somebody take your calculator and add up those four numbers and see what you get. You should get 95%. And the 95% is called normal. And did somebody add those percentages up? You should get 95%. Or some statisticians say not unusual. You ever met somebody that uses big words and don't know how to use them? If you've never met somebody like that before, you will. I had a good friend, and he helped me out he helped me get a job. He wrote my letter of recommendation when I got a job at Tri-County. He used to be a principal at one of the local schools, high schools, and he was a very good guy. But he used big words and he didn't know how to use them, and it made him sound awful when he had a conversation with somebody. So unless you don't know what the words mean, don't use them. All right? So not unusual. I don't know why somebody would say not unusual versus normal. I don't know. Maybe you could figure it out. All right, so if you take 95% away from 100, what are you left with?
5%.
5%. And that is 2.5 here, and 2.5 here. Because what's 2.35 plus 0.15? 2.5. So 2.5, 2.5, and what's $2.50 plus $2.50? $5. So this is 5%. Both of these areas right here equal 5%. Now I'm going to take a yellow marker and I'm going to highlight this area. Okay. I'm not in fact, I've told the NFL to go to hell, so I'm not really into professional sports. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. So I watch college sports. Somebody name me a quarterback in the NFL that's not great, but he don't suck.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay, Pittsburgh Steelers. The only reason I know that is because he's been up there like 100 years, and I know that. And how he's a quarterback, I don't know, but he is. All right. Now, somebody tell me how easy is it to get to the NFL? It's not. It's not easy. Okay, I'll give them that. It's not easy. So if you make it to the NFL, that's unusual. All right, and that's what these two areas are. So I need you to take your yellow marker and put unusual. Now, I don't know. Well, when I write unusual, I always look at it and I go, that don't look right. So I have no idea if it's right or not. Unusual. Now that's the yellow area. And then you've got the red area out here. Can somebody tell me the red area, what does the red area represent? I'll give you a hint. It starts with an O. U, T, L. I'm giving y'all cues. I'm spelling the word out. You're supposed to grab onto it. L, I.
Unlikely?
Outlier. That's all right. I might as well just give up. Outlier. Name me a quarterback in the NFL that's an outlier.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Give me one more.
Peyton Manning. Well, he kind of retired, so.
Who? Yeah, but go ahead. A retired one. Joe Montana. Peyton Manning. What's great about those? I mean, what's significant? They were pretty much, if not the greatest of all time, they were in that bunch of being great quarterbacks. Capiche? Now, they made it to the NFL, which is unusual, but they also did what? They also became the greatest quarterback. How about Tiger Woods? How about Michael Jordan? Name another, I don't know, name another athlete or name, I'll tell you what, let's say actor. Tommy Lee Jones, Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington. How about country singer? King George, George Strait. Leonard Skinner. Why am I naming off some of the other more familiar names? Why am I naming off people? Because they go past unusual. Where, I don't know, let's see, I'll think of a mediocre country singer. I don't know. Okay. A mediocre country singer was Jerry Reed. Jerry Reed, he was the truck driver in Smokey and the Bandit. He was a regular, he made it in Nashville, but he wasn't nowhere around George Strait, or, he was just a regular country singer, okay? So that the outlier is the
Well,
one.
that's what
It's
I
a 6
forgot.
foot second grader. If you're in the second grade and everybody's 3 foot tall and there's a 6 foot second grader, is that an outlier? Yes, Hubert, that's an outlier. Thank you. All right, so there we go. That is empirical rule.
All right, so she got 12 for that,
Say again.
and then
Somebody asking a question or just talking? Okay, mute your mics, please. All right, 5-number summary. What is the 5-number summary? What is the 5-number summary? Okay, everybody's going, okay. 5-number summary
No clue.
is basically the following things. The 5-number summary, write it down right here, is the min, the max, the max, the first quartile, the second quartile, and the third quartile. Now, before I tell you how to find the quartiles, I want you to understand what they are. Okay? What are the quartiles? Well, think of this as your fuel gauge in your car. Think of this as your fuel gauge. And here is the needle on your fuel gauge. Where is my fuel gauge pointing to right now?
Empty?
Empty. Empty is the same as 0%. Wouldn't y'all say that? Empty is equal to 0%. Would y'all agree with that? What
Yeah.
about right about here? What would that be?
Quarter tank?
Quarter of a tank. Well, instead of saying quarter of a tank, I'm going to say my first quartile or 25th percentile. Those are the same things. Okay, 25% is the same as a quarter. What about if my fuel gauge is pointing right here? What is that?
With
Half a
50%.
tank.
That's a half a tank. So that's called the second quartile or the 50th percentile. It is also called the median. And then what's over here?
Third quartile.
3/4, which would be third quartile, or the 75th percentile. And over here would be full, which is 100%. Now, that's just a graphic representation. I'm not going to test you on, putting that quartile here, 50th percentile here, but I'm showing you what it means. Now, let's go to a problem and do all of this. Here is the problem we're going to do. I'm going to make up one. I'm going to do 2 problems between now and Tuesday. We're going to do 2 problems. I doubt very seriously I'll make it to 2 tonight. And I'm going to change all of this to where you can see it. Because I know somebody's going to say, I can't see. There we go. Everybody see it okay? So, in is equal to, we're going to go with an odd number first. Let's go with 13. I'm going to have 13 test scores. All right, so not test scores, that's too big. I want to do ages. So let's do 12, 13, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 21, 23, and 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. All right, write all those ages down. Now, I want you.
Did you mean
What?
to put 21 on there twice?
Yeah.
Okay. 21.
Now I want you to do as many of these as you can over here. Mean, median, mode. And I know people are going to bog down when they get down toward the variance. I know that. Okay, so don't feel bad if you don't know how to do the variance. But I want you to do as much as you can on the first 5 or 6 things, okay? Going with what I gave you. The mean, sum of all, divided by, where's the division symbol? Divided by the number of ages. Median. Well, somebody tell me, is n odd or n even?
It's odd.
It's odd. So we're just going to pick the middle number. Y'all are kind of giving me bad vibes tonight. Why is that? Y'all were nice and chipper before class. What happened? Okay, y'all can't hear me or what?
I don't think I have to really say what's wrong.
I need a cup of coffee
Is that what it is?
for me.
Coffee.
Okay, well,
I'm with them.
I wish I could do something to make you feel better, but y'all look like y'all just lost your best friend or something. Mode, the one that shows up the most. The range is the highest minus the what?
Lowest.
And the mid-range is equal to the high plus the low divided by what?
2.
Okay, so most of you should be able to get those. So, mean. Take the mean, add up all the numbers, and divide by what? Divide by 13. Now notice that I'm carrying this to 6 or 7 digits. Why am I doing that? Because your answer, whenever you do your answer, no matter what you're doing, you're going to be asked to round to the 100th or the 1,000th. So I tell all my students to take out to 5 or 6 digits. When you are doing probability, you do not round until the very end of the calculation. Capiche? Okay. Appreciate the feedback. Now, where's the median? Well, there's 13 numbers, so I'm going to count 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there is your median. So 17 is your median. Since n is odd, I can't type. Everybody being so quiet, that just messes me up. 17.
I'm just.
See, look
listening.
what I did.
I don't know what to do, so.
Since n is odd, pick the middle number. And the middle number here is 17. There. Okay, so the first one, you add up all the numbers just like you did back in the 6th and 7th grade. Add up all the test scores and divide by what? 13. So take your calculators right now and add all of these up and divide by 13, and you should get that number right there. I'm going to highlight that green. So give everybody a second to add up all those numbers and divide by 13. Now, while y'all are working on that, what number shows up the most?
15, 16, and 21.
15, 16, and 21. So you go over here and you say 15, comma, 16, comma, and 21. Okay, did y'all add them up and get and divide by 13? I'm going to do it with you. Hold on a second. Let me get my handy dandy calculator. And here's my calculator. And I'm going to bring this down. Y'all ready? So I'm going to take, well, I can't get the calculator to work. I suck. All right. 12 plus 13 plus 15 plus 15 plus 16 plus 16 plus 17 plus 19 plus 20 plus 21 plus 21 plus 23 plus 25. And that's equal to that number, and I'm going to divide that by what? 13. 17.923 blah, 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 blah. There it is. 17.923 blah, 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 blah. Anybody got a question on the mean, median, or the mode so far? Go ahead and ask. Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I'm trying. That's all I can do.
Okay, which one? The mean?
I'm just now trying to work the problem. I can't. I mean.
Okay. Well, add them up in your calculator.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Okay. And divide by 13, because that's the only one you really have to calculate so far. Anybody else having any trouble? Okay, let's give her a second.
You said, how many
Yeah.
how many numbers do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Should be
5.
13. N is 13.
I got 14. Does it end with 25?
Hold on. Let me move over. Yeah, it ends in 25.
12. Oh, that I put one number too many. Okay. Shit.
Okay, we'll just go back back arrow, and you can take it out by hitting delete. Let me know what you come up with when you divide by 13.
236.
Okay, now divide that by 13.
18.15.
Okay, you did the method right. I think you might have typed in a number wrong. You're right there at it. I think you might have typed a number. Check your numbers right quick. And it won't be the first time you type me or you type in a number wrong. I've typed in numbers wrong.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21, 23, and 25.
Okay, there's no 18. You said 18.
Okay.
Make sure you got the numbers right. Check them one more time.
12, 13, 2 15s,
Yep.
2 16s,
Yep.
17, a 19, a 20, and 2 21s, a 23, and a 25.
Okay, now add those up. And divide by 13.
$233.
Okay, divide by 13.
17.923.
That's it. Now take it out to about 6 decimal points, like I got it.
9230769. Okay.
All right. Now, do you see where I got the median? It's the middle number. Count down 6.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's the 7th number because 6 and 6 is 12, and you got 13. So you got to find the middle number. And that's all it is. And then most, find the most. What number shows up the most? 15, 16, and 21. All right, now everybody do the highest minus the lowest.
15.
16, and 21.
And then you do what now? You add them up?
No, you don't do anything. You just write them down.
Oh, you just, okay, so high to low, okay.
Okay, now this one, you do. I thought you were on the mode. Okay, the high minus the low. So what's your high? Your high is 25.
25.
So that's going to be 25
minus
12.
What? 12.
12.
And divide it by 2.
13.
And no, you don't do anything. What is 25 minus 12?
13.
13. Now I'm going to check it. So equals 25 minus 12. And that's 13. Good. Now the mid-range, there's the formula right there. I want y'all to do it. High plus the low divided by 2.
I got 18.5.
All right, let me look right quick.
25 minus 12 divided by 2.
25 plus 12.
Where did what? Oh, so the
plus high.
okay, so the range is when you subtract, and then the mid range is where you add and then divide.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna put
Let me just write
25
back.
plus 12 divided by 2. And that's equal to 25 plus 12
This is 25.
divided by 2.
Minus
18.5. Check yours.
Okay. 25 plus 12. 37 divided by 2. Equal to 18.5.
There you go. Now,
Okay.
I'm going to go back to the formula for variance. Here we go. Here's the formula. What did I do with it? Hold on.
Okay.
There it is. Here is the formula for the variance. I want everybody to read. Have we put them in order? Have we put our data in order? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, in the column next to your numbers, I want you to draw this is what I want you to do. You got your numbers written down. Let me go to your numbers. 12, 13, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 21, 23, and 25. And that's X. Now I'm going to take my handy dandy. I want you to do this too, unless you're using a spreadsheet. And if you're using a spreadsheet, that's fine. Okay. I'm going to draw a column right there. And then I'm going to draw another column. A little wider.
I think your thing is froze up.
No, I hadn't.
Yeah, it moved it. Okay.
There we go.
Okay. So this is
You
what
got to
is
have
this?
3 columns.
Are we doing a frequency distribution with this?
No, this is finding the mean and the standard deviation. I mean the standard variance and the standard deviation. You just want to get back to those frequency distributions. That's what you want to do.
About the only thing I can do. Halfway.
Yeah. Yet.
You take.
The only person that can be negative in this class is me. And I will tell you if you're a failure. All right. So here is, everybody look at the formula.
Square minus mean squared.
And I want you to, I'm going to wait until y'all do your column. But I want you to look at the formula. If you've done your columns, I want you to look at the formula right there. And here is X right here. So I want you to fill out the second column. Can anybody tell me what the second column is going to be called? Not X, but what?
Why?
No, that's graphing. That's graphing. That's good. That's graphing. All right, that's algebra.
Yeah,
Look
I got
at the formula.
an A in college algebra.
Good. I told y'all to look at the formula. You didn't look at the formula. What are we going to do with X?
Subtract the sample.
Subtract the what from each number?
The mean.
Okay, what is the mean? What letter tells you it's the mean? Not
X bar.
X bar. So I'm going to write right here X minus X bar, and I'm going to do that for each. So take your calculator, and what is our X bar? Our X bar, let me go back to somebody tell me what X bar is in our problem. That's
17,
Okay, what?
17.9230769.
And you need to take that away from each one of those numbers. Now I'm going to show you easily. Okay, I want you to go to your calculator and I want you to type in that number, 17.9230,769. Everybody got it typed in? I'm going to show you a trick I learned in the war. You hit enter, and then you hit stow. Everybody say, what's stow? What is stow? That's where you get bread. That's stow. Hit stow and call it alpha A, which is right below alpha. I'm calling it alpha A. Now what I'm doing, instead of, I mean, if y'all want to type in 6 or 8 digits each time, that's fine.
What is
So I'm going to go through
stow?
it again and enter. So here we go again. I'm going to hit stow
What is stow?
right here.
I can't see that.
Down
Oh,
there
there
beside
it is.
the 1.
Okay.
Stow,
So enter stow
alpha,
alpha
math.
A.
Mm-hmm.
Alpha
And
A.
enter.
Okay. Enter.
Now, you have that stored, that number is stored in alpha A. So whenever you need that number, all you got to do is hit alpha A. Let me show you. The first number is 12. So I'm going to do 12 minus alpha A. And that goes right here. Negative 5.92307. And you can just round it to 4 digits. That's fine. Negative
Oh, it didn't save it.
5.9231. And do that for each number. Now I'm showing you how to do this by hand the long way. All right. This is the longest way to do it. So I'm going to do it again. Next number, 13. So 13 minus alpha A. And that's negative 4.9231. All right.
Oh,
now
are
you
you
keep
rounding
going.
it? Oh, so you're rounding it now.
I'm rounding to 4. Yeah, 4 is good enough. Now you keep going. I want you to keep going. Go all the way down to 25. The only way to learn this is by doing it. I'm going to go ahead and do some more. You can check yourself. 15 minus alpha A. Negative 2.9231. Does anybody notice a pattern with the 4 decimal places?
It keeps going up.
Well, you keep going up, but these 4 decimal places are not changing, are they?
Well, mine started changing once I got to 19, but I probably ain't doing my math right.
No, but that becomes, they become positive. So it changes. Yes, you're right. 16 minus alpha A, 1.9231. $17 minus alpha A. Negative 0.9231. And at 19, it's going to switch to the positive. 19 minus alpha A. 1.0769. $20 minus alpha A. Oh, I had to do this for my other classes too. So, and look at there. Are the numbers staying the same? Yes. You're just moving the other direction. All right. 21 minus alpha A. 3.0769.
So I don't need to round it. See,
I rounded to
I've been rounding up to the hundredths place. I guess I don't need to do that, do I? Well, the thousand.
Well,
1, 2, 3,
I told y'all that you might want to go to 4. I mean, as long as you do the method right, the rounding part, that's up to you and whatever the directions say. All right. I usually tell students to go to the 4th or 5th place to be safe. So that's not a big deal. If you're doing the method right, I'm not complaining at all. Minus alpha A. 23 is 5.0769. And 25, alpha A. 7.0769. Now, let's go to the formula. What do you do to x minus x bar? What's next? Please excuse.
Square it.
You're going to square it. So I'm going to take this column, and I'm going to call it x minus x bar, quantity squared. I'm going to take this number, and I'm going to square it.
Which one are you squaring? The negative number, the decimal?
You're going to square it. So negative 5.9231 raised. That's under the clear button. It's called a caret symbol. It looks like an upside down V.
Raised to the second power.
Second power.
Negative
and
35.
it's supposed to change it to the positive. I don't know why it didn't.
Did you get negative 35.0831?
It's not negative, it's positive. I don't know why the calculator did that. So it should be 35.0831. 35.0831. You have to put it in parentheses. So I'll put it in parentheses for you. Parentheses, negative 4.9231 raised to the second power.
It's still negative. Wait, I didn't close my parentheses.
24.2369. All right, and I want you to do all of those. Do all of them. Now, some of them you don't have to do because 15 is twice, 16 is twice, and 21 is twice. So you can just rewrite it. Please don't type 15 twice in your calculator. You don't need to do that. I'm going to go to the spreadsheet and do everything on the spreadsheet, so that way you can check your numbers. I want you to feel good about yourself. What?
Nothing.
Now, you know what's good about this is I'm going to show you how to do this on your calculator where you don't have to do all this handwork. What's the old saying? You got to crawl before you can what?
Walk.
Crawl before you can walk. I promise you, hang with me, you'll be all right.
Yeah, even if we flunk every test.
I'm sorry. Did y'all hear anything? I didn't hear anything. Did y'all? I heard somebody squeak. Is there a mouse in here? And check your numbers with mine. That should be your numbers. And let me know when y'all get toward the end. When you get toward the end of, when you get that 50.08, go ahead and raise your hand so I'll know everybody's finished. Your virtual hand, okay?
Once you get in positives, you don't have to put it in parentheses anymore, do you?
Exactly. There you go. Question, gripe, complaint.
I was stretching.
All right, I see one person with their hand up, two people. Golly, two fast people. What's the other people doing? Get them up so I can make sure everybody understands what we're doing. Question. Okay, most of the class, except for a couple of people, I'm still waiting on you. I'd like for everybody, we got about 3 or 4. I need to make sure everybody's up with the plan.
If I didn't go all the way out that far, like 6 digits, do I still get it wrong?
No, but realize that your variance is going to say round to the 100th or the 1000th or the 10th or whatever. If you don't have the digits,
I went all the way. Yeah, I went to like to the 1000th. I went 4 places past.
Well, then you're okay.
I need some
All
Xanax.
right. You need to just, I promise you, you're not going to just chill. All right, now it's time to look at our formula. What do we do after we have added, I just told you. After we squared everything, what do we do?
Subtract the population by 1 or n?
Not yet. No, not yet. We're not through with the numerator yet. What's left in the numerator? Look at my colors.
Add up all the numbers.
Add up all of the what?
Number 2.
Add up all that's in column 2. So take your calculator and add up all of these numbers that I have highlighted. All of those numbers, add them up. Add up your numbers and see what you get.
The x minus x bar?
The one I got highlighted right here.
Okay.
I'll highlight it in green so
I was going to say, you have to put it in a different color.
I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying. There you go. Is that good enough for you, Miss Kidd?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm such a pest.
I would do it with any of y'all if y'all would ask. But I only got 4 people.
I think I'm the most talkative one in the class.
Well, I only got 4 of y'all that has a video on. So it's not like we're talking about, you know, extroverted people in this class. We got a bunch of introverts.
Mm. And we gotta divide that by 12.
Yep.
I'm a privilege to meet.
Hold on a second.
They can see.
And why does it do that? Why does it give me an error when I do this?
Because the Russians have hacked into your calculator.
Apparently, because it says 1 quit or 2 go to.
Go to, and it takes you back to your calculation. You've got an error in there somewhere. Okay.
Nine, 2, 5, 6.
4, 2, 9, plus 8.
Okay, so did you get it to come out? I got 184.9231. That means no. So I'm going to go here and put, and that's going to be 35.08. 35.08. Now I'm just doing to the 10th, to the 100th, so I can do it quick. 24.24. 24.24. Type it in with me. 8.54 plus 8.54 plus 3.7 plus 3.7 plus 0.85. Oops. Did I hit plus? Yeah. 0.85. Thought I saw a division symbol. 1.16 plus 4.31 plus 9.47 plus 9.47 plus 25.78 plus 50.08. And I got 184.92.
Okay, I got that too.
Good job. Now, what did we just find? We just
Variance.
found the numerator for the variance. Look at your formula. Look here. We just found the numerator for the variance. Remember the blue right here? We just found it right there. So I'm going to show you what we just found because it's 702 and some of y'all are going to blow up. So equals what is it? 184 point what? 184.92. 184.9231 divided by, as you said a while ago, Miss Kidd, 13 minus 1 is what?
12.
12. So if those of you following along, there it is right there. 184.9231. Do that in your calculator. And I'm going to do it in my spreadsheet. 184.9231 divided by 12. 184.9231 divided by 12.
Oh, I got 15.41, but that ain't right.
How do you know it's not right?
Because I didn't do the 3-1 on the end of the decimal.
Well, that's still, you got it close. You got a variance. Quit saying it like you got it wrong and you're the only one in the class, because you didn't. You got it right. All right, equals. All right, be careful. All right, so here's my 184, and I'm going to divide it by 12. Here is the answer. 15.41, and I'm going to raise that to the 0.5 power. So hit the caret symbol and put 15.4102 to the 0.5 power. And that is the standard deviation.
0.05.
No, 0.5. Raise it to the 0.5 power. And you should get 3.92 blah, blah, blah.
And that's the standard deviation.
Yes, ma'am.
15.41. No, shit.
No, that's the variance.
Sorry.
And
To
then
the
raise that number to the
0.5
0.5.
power.
And you should get 3.92558,994. Okay. Now, the class is already 4 minutes over, and some of y'all are going to explode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down what we just finished. Okay? Just so you'll know what homework to be working on. And that is, I have just covered 3.1 and 3.2. So you can be working on that homework, you know, as we're moving along. Okay? Now, y'all have 4 days to work on this, 4 or 5 days to work on it. So go ahead and get caught up and work on 3.1 and 3.2 homework. And if you can't do it, don't worry about it. That's what we go over Tuesday. Okay? Y'all have a good weekend.
You too.
You too.
See ya. Y'all go ahead and leave. Okay, I'm going to see ya, and you have a good weekend, and I'll see you when I see you.
See you when I
Bye.
see you.